and today I'm going to be telling you all about the books that I did not finish. I try my best not to DNF any books because I like to finish a book once I've started, but sometimes that is just unavoidable for different reasons. A lot of the time it involves uni books and putting me into slumps and not having time to read them, not really needing to read them, that sort of thing. So I have, I think, 7 books here that I have DNF'd for various reasons, some of which I am planning on picking up again in the future. Others I might pick up again in the future, but it is highly doubt, like highly unlikely it'll be one of these books that's kind of like, oh, this is the only book I have left on my shelf, I guess I have to read it. It'll be that sort of a situation. So yeah, so we're just gonna jump straight into the books that I DNF'd. So these books are actually in no particular order because I cannot remember what order I DNF'd them in. So first book that I want to talk about is Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. If you were around when I was reading Clockwork Angel, you will know that I was really not a fan of that book. I know everyone loves the Infernal Devices more than the Mortal Instruments series, but I could not get into Clockwork Angel. I hated it, I struggled. So when it came to Clockwork Prince, I started reading it, I just wasn't feeling it, and I decided instead I would go and read something else that I really wanted to read. In saying that though, I really do want to know how this series ends, so I do have plans to pick up this book again at some point and finish it, but I hope that I don't sort of struggle with it the way that I did the first time reading it. So the next book that I did not finish, I've actually DNF'd it twice, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So I had to read it first for my Year 12 class and second for my university class, but both times I just couldn't get into it. The language is really dense for me and I really struggled. Wow, I just opened to a page that the entire page is a paragraph, and the paragraph actually started on the page before. So yeah, very dense language. I am kind of enjoying the story. Like both times I've managed to pick it up. The first time I only read a couple chapters, second time I read around 120-ish pages. So I do enjoy the story, but I think I'm probably just gonna watch the BBC adaptation or the movie, or I'm gonna listen to it on audiobook. I highly doubt I'll actually ever pick up the physical book again. I can't wrap my head around it. It's not for me. So the next book that I DNF'd was Frankie by Siobhan Plaza. I'm not entirely sure why I put this one down. I think I had something else that I wanted to or needed to read at the time. I'm not sure what that was, to be perfectly honest, but I sort of put this one down. Also, I wasn't really into it at the time. I think it's a contemporary novel, kind of, and I really have to be in the mood to read contemporaries just because I'm so not on board with them most of the time. So I put it down because I wasn't giving it my full attention and I really wanted to. I think it's Penguin Random House Australia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Siobhan Plaza is Australian. Yeah, so she's Australian, so this is a #LoveUs YA novel, so I really do want to read it at some point and I want to give it my full attention, so that's why I put it down, but I do have plans to pick it up again in the future. Next on my list is The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith by Thomas Keneally, and I did not enjoy this book at all. Even the little bit that I read, I was like, nope, no, not happening. I didn't really need to read this one because I wasn't planning on doing an assignment on it, and I only had like a couple questions in a quiz that I just kind of fluked anyway. So I put it down and I do not have plans to pick this one up again in the future. This will be one of those books that if I'm in my retirement phase, read all the books on my shelf already, there's nothing new out at the moment, I will pick it up again. But yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of the story, not a fan of the writing style, just not a fan. Not a fan at all. Next up is another uni book that I put down, and that is Grass by Sherry S. Tepper. The parts of the book that I did read I was enjoying, so I kind of wish that I had continued on with it, especially once we started talking about it in class, and it did sound really cool. I struggled with the writing. It was a really dark font and it hurt my eyes really to read, so I did struggle with it a lot in that aspect. But also I kind of put me into a reading slump because I wasn't super enjoying it, I was having trouble reading it, and at the same time I actually got sent 2 things to critique and they were really exciting, so I was like, well, I'm gonna read those instead, and I did. So it didn't affect anything, I just got my grade back for the science fiction story that I did, and I did really well, so didn't actually affect anything, me not reading it. I would like to pick this one up again in the future though, because I did enjoy what I was reading, but that won't be for a while. So next up is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I was meant to read this one for the summer biannual bibliothon that I participated in earlier this year, but I was just not having it. It was not, I don't know what it was. I think it was during that readathon I was really struggling anyway to read, and because of that I just kind of put it down and was like, I'll read it later. I haven't read it later yet. I know a lot of people really enjoyed this series, well, this book, sorry, it's just the one I was thinking, in my head I was thinking about Lunar Chronicles, but I don't know, I wasn't super enamored with it. I didn't get drawn drawn in the first, I think I read the first chapter in a bit and I wasn't drawn in, and because it was a readathon you really need to, you know, be drawn into books so that you read them fast, and I kind of wanted to give this one more of an opportunity, more of a chance to impress me, so I've decided to pick it up again a little bit later. I just don't know when that's going to be. And the last book that I DNF'd is one that I actually have talked about a few times on this channel, and that is Airfire by Sarah J Maas. Now, I read the first 2 books in the series, absolutely adored them, read the prequel novellas, loved them as well, but then I got to Airfire and I just could not get into it. I don't know what it was. I've talked to a lot of different people and they've all said yes, Airfire is very, very different to the first 2 books and it does take a minute to get into, but once you get to the end it's really good. But at the time I was like, I don't want to be reading this. Plus I'd just been sent 2 really, really exciting critique books, so I kind of gave up with this series and I read the critique books instead. But now I haven't gone back to pick up the rest of these books, and I know Tower of Dawn is coming out in September and then we have to wait until May for the 7th book, so I'm actually thinking I'm probably just gonna wait now until the 7th book is almost out. Then I'm just gonna go back. I'll probably reread Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight just to kind of get my head around things again, and then I'm gonna jump straight into Airfire, push through it and just read the full series. I'm just gonna marathon it, end with the 7th book when it comes out, because I don't want to read it and then have to wait a few months for the last book. Like, I just don't see the point in that when I could just marathon it all at once. Oh, so in case you didn't know, I am planning on picking up this book again, obviously, because I do want to know what happens. I want to know what happens in the series, but yeah, I put it down at the time because other books were more important. So there you have it. Those are the 7 books that I have DNF'd in my lifetime. I'm sure that there are more, but these are the only ones that I could think of when I was coming up with books for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what books you have DNF'd and why, and if you're planning on picking them up again in the future. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.